that I had forsaken you, and now here you are, running right back to me. Ooh, girl, it's strange. Yes, it's strange indeed. I wish that I could say I forgive you for what you did that day, but honey, there's this thing called the intellect, and it's telling me to have some self-respect. So I must say to you, it's been good times, but I'm really through. I don't wanna hear you asking about me. This girl is strange. Yes, it's strange indeed. Must say to you, it's been good times, but I'm really through. I don't wanna hear you asking about me. This girl is strange. Yes, it's strange indeed. It's strange indeed. Strange indeed.
Take you anywhere in the whole wide world. On the Eiffel Towers where our love occurs. occurs. Is it Belize, Greece, or maybe the islands? Take a deep, long breath and just close your eyelids. Relax and take a seat and just let your mind slip to a place you want to go. All love, no violence. France, Egypt, maybe Japan. No matter where we go, I want to hold your hand. We can hit the beach and put our toes in the sand. Maybe go to San Fran and you're an indie band. Where you going, little mama? I want to take you on a trip. I can be your only genie. You can use one wish. Then we try all the places that you wanted to exist and go around the world on a plane or a ship. And trust me, I know it's like a dream come true, but it's nothing compared to what I would do for you. Just one night, just to show you the world and give you my all, cause I found my dream girl. Adventure is a word that was made for two, and the way I see it, it's just me and you. Cause when we're together, there's nothing we can't do. JK and Jeopardy, now what you gonna do? Like,
Let's get away to another world, just you and me. Let's get away, let's get away to another world, just you and me. Baby, let's get away.
What is up, guys? Thank you so much for joining us today. Oh man, we got a good topic to talk about tonight. This is the Right Way Podcast. Tonight, we're going to talk about finding the time to write and helping you find the time to write no matter your busy schedule, because that's a big one. One of the things that I talk about in writing forums, I always try and offer a little bit of help, And one of the biggest things that people have trouble with is the fact that they don't have time to write. That's a huge, huge, huge issue. Is your lifestyle's too busy, or things are too hectic. You got multiple kids, you got multiple jobs, whatever the case is, and you just can't seem to come up with the time that you need to sit down and get anything cohesive down or get any real thoughts on the paper. So I wanted to address that issue today because there's a multitude of ways that you can go about doing this. I've seen it happen with a bunch of different authors. I've helped a bunch of different authors do this. I mentor authors, and I always ask them, like, do you feel like you're making progress, or do you feel the imposter syndrome or things like that? And they always give me feedback. And then I ask other authors what is their biggest issues in writing, and time is one of them. Imposter syndrome is another one. Marketing and promotion is another one. So we always try and address those in little live podcasts like this, so that you can get the information that you need. Because personally, I feel like every writer has a story to tell. And somebody out there might need to hear your story. And if you don't get it out there, they never will. And you never know how that might affect them. So welcome into the podcast. This is the Right Way Podcast. We are here to help you get the writing advice and strategies and things that you need so that you can be successful in the writing universe. It's a $26 billion industry. There is money in writing. Your writing and your story is worth it, but you have to go about doing it the right way. And that's what this podcast is all about. Please like and share the video, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on social media, follow me, ask for friend requests, share this with your writing group, share this with your friends and family. We want to know about all the things you guys want to learn about, and your follows and subscribes and shares and likes and comments. That helps us out a lot with understanding what it is that you need, so that we can help you get what you need to reach your goals. My name is Jonathan Miller. I am your host. Now, who is this for? This particular podcast topic is for people who want to write a book or a story, but maybe you're too busy. Maybe you've got too much going on in your life and you can't seem to really get what you need when it comes to your writing. The characters aren't talking to you. The inspiration isn't hitting, whatever. And you're going to see me looking at different cameras because I got the topic matter that I want to talk about here. I got this camera for YouTube and Facebook and Twitch, and then I got Instagram beside me. So I want to make sure I'm looking at all of you guys and being cohesive and understandable. So let me know if you have any comments. If there's some confusion, I can definitely go back and re-explain some things. Who else is this for? Anybody who is suffering from writer's block. If you are suffering from writer's block and you want to get through it, this is a good topic for you because typically there's a couple of reasons that writer's block happens, and we're going to talk about that here in today's presentation. Okay, so let's get right into it. First thing to understand is that everybody has the time to write. We all have the same 24 hours. We all have the exact same time frame. So how you use that 24 hours it will determine how successful you are with your book or not. Now, I also understand that there are some outliers out there who maybe they are disabled, and I mean like literally they don't have arms, or maybe they want to write a book and they can't talk to anybody on the phone, not because they can't, or not because they won't, but because they can't. There's a big difference. Okay, there's a big difference between won't and don't like to and can't, meaning unable to. Those are the outliers. The unable to are the outliers. Won't is a choice, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But we are not addressing the outliers. We're addressing the majority of people who are out there who say they don't have the time to write. Everybody has the time to write. We all have the same 24 hours. How you use that 24 hours is up to you. Give me a second here. Yeah. Apologize for that. Having a little bit of an issue with Instagram here. So I appreciate your patience. We do it live, people. We do it live. Okay. Thank you for your patience on that. But yeah, everybody has the same 24 hours. You have the time to write. How you utilize that 24 hours is what makes the difference between you being a successful author and not so much. Okay. So you have to understand and really come to the conclusion that you have the time. It's not that somebody else has more than 24 hours than you do. It's not that somebody else has less time than you do. Everybody lives on the same time cycle, okay? It's what you do in that time that makes the difference. All right? So you have the time. It's there, okay? Now, you need to understand who you are. Okay? Once you understand that you have the time, just by default, you have the time. You have to understand who you are. If you've tried writing in the past and you're having issues, really think about why you're having those issues. Okay? Are you afraid of failure? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of wasting your money? Are you afraid of having no sales, like wasting your money on the publishing steps? Are you afraid of having no sales? Are you afraid of things going bad? Like, determine the real why. You have to understand what it is that is stopping you, because once you understand what is stopping you, you get control over it. Understanding equals control. Okay? Because it's really hard to make a decision when you don't understand how something works. So like take money, for instance. If you don't have the understanding of how money comes in and how to spend money and how to make more money, you won't. You're always going to be spinning your wheels, and you're going to be thinking, "Oh, if my job only pays me so much, so that's all the money I can make." And if that's the only skill you have, if that's the only way that you can see to make money, that's going to be true for you. But that doesn't mean that that's necessarily true. So understanding why you are running up against barriers to reach your goals, you really got to do some self-work here. Okay, you got to do some what do you call it? Hold yourself accountable, some self-analysis, okay? Understand what is stopping you from reaching your goals, all right? Once you understand and actually identify it, like really identify what is stopping you from reaching your goals. Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid of making it big? Maybe you think people aren't going to leave you alone. I just saw an article, LeBron James was talking about he wishes he could do things like normal people. Like, he can't just go to Starbucks, you know? He can't just go to Target. People would mob him and try to get pictures and stuff. You know, things that we take for granted every day. He wishes he could do some of those things. Like, is that holding you back? Are you afraid of failure? Putting in all this work and time and effort and money, doing all of this just to end up in the hole with nothing to show for it. Are you afraid of that? And it's perfectly okay to be afraid of that. It's perfectly okay. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. It's perfectly okay to be afraid of those things. All right? That's okay. What's not okay is pretending that you're not afraid of it just to see if you can, to seem like you're good on the outside. That's what's not okay. You really have to be honest with yourself here first before you can help anybody else, before you can accomplish any other goal. You have to be honest with yourself. Are you afraid of failing? Are you afraid of wasting your money? Why? Like, writing a book is thousands of dollars. Making a song, thousands of dollars. Pursuing your passion is thousands of dollars. sometimes. Why is it not okay to acknowledge the fact that you're afraid that putting all this money and effort and time into it will yield you zero results on the back end? Why is that not okay? Of course that's okay. Of course it's okay to be afraid of losing your money. But when you act like, oh, I'm good, and you know you're not, that's when you get into trouble. All right? Okay. So, for the writers out there, understand who you are. If you're thinking about writing a book, if you've tried to write a book and you can't, maybe writing isn't your strongest suit, maybe the ideas just aren't flowing, you got to understand what kind of a writer you are. Are you an idealist? Do you just come up with the ideas and you need somebody else to write them down to make them make sense? Then you need a ghostwriter. Are you a writer who writes from the seat of their pants? They're called pantsers. You don't really do a lot of plotting. You just start and start writing off the dome, so to speak. Is that the kind of writer you are? Are you a plotter? Do you need to get things organized into at least some sort of a synopsis or a map as to how you want the writing to go? Are you a plotter? You have to understand yourself. This is self-analysis, guys. You have to understand yourself in order to get anywhere. Because you need to know your motivations. You need to know your barricades. You need to know exactly how you operate in life if you're going to reach your goal. Okay, so are you the person who supplies the ideas and somebody else writes them down? Are you the person who just sits down with half an hour and just word vomits onto the screen? Are you a person who needs to plot everything out, or at least some sort of something out, so that you can have some sort of direction mentally on where this is going to go? This is very important. Okay, also, are you better in long grooves? Do you need 3 or 4 hours to crank something out? Or are you better in short grooves? Me personally, I found this out about myself earlier this year. I was a pantser forever. My first book, I was a pantser. My second book, I plotted it out. And I thought if I didn't sit down with, a couple of hours of time, I wasn't going to get anything cohesive down. Turns out, actually, I am better with short bursts. So I'll sit down, I'll set a timer for an hour or 30 minutes or whatever, and I'll crank out what I can crank out. I'll put on some vibey music in the background. I'll crank out what I can crank out. And at the end of it, like I finish, I put the period there, and I get up and I leave the computer and I feel refreshed and I feel like I accomplished something. I never knew that about myself until 2022. But it's through all of this self-analysis that I learned those types of things. I'll sit down and I'll try something new. And I'll go, okay, maybe this will work. Let me see. Like, don't be afraid to try something new, you guys. I was a pantser. And my first book took me 7 years to write because of that. But I thought that was the only way that I was going to write something. And so that was how I lived my life. Turns out it's not true. It's better if I plot it out. I have more mental clarity to crank something out with the writing when I plot it out versus when I just sit down and go off the dome. So really understand how you are, like your writing style. Got to understand, do you sit down in short little grooves, 15 minutes, 30 minutes? Boom. If you've got 15 minutes, you can write a book. 15 minutes. And don't tell me you don't have 15 minutes because you're scrolling Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. There's your 15 minutes right there that you could have been writing. So you got the time, guys. You got the time. But do you understand yourself well enough to be productive enough with your time? That's the question. Are you using all the tools to your advantage? Listen, I mean, I can't show you right now because I'm live on TikTok and I got my computer up. Most of you have smartphones. If you've got a smartphone in your pocket, you have all the tools that you need to write a book. You've got, I got an iPhone. You've got voice memos. I'm sure that the Androids have something similar. You've got calendars to organize yourself. You've got a notepad to write ideas down. You don't even have to type it with your thumbs. Just press the microphone button and record your voice, and it will type it out for you. Like, are you using all the tools to your advantage? Okay. I have iCalendar. You got a timer. You got notes. You got Microsoft Office. You got Scrivener. You got WordPerfect. All kinds of tools that you can use to write a book. All kinds of tools. So are you using all the tools at your disposal? Are you actually really sitting down and setting the goal and going about it, going about your passion with intention and attention? Are you really putting forth the effort to reach that goal? And if you're not, you got to ask yourself why. Why do you keep saying things like, oh, I wish I could do blank, instead of, let me look into how to do it and see if I can actually do it. Let me try. Why are you doing that to yourself? That's the question that you got to answer. You know, you don't have to answer to me. You don't have to answer to your mom or your dad or anybody else. You answer to yourself. It's ultimately you who are destroying yourself with this passion stuff. Nobody can really push you to do your passion but you. It's got to come from internal. If it's your passion, it's got to come from you. So really look at, are you using all the tools to pursue your passion? And that goes for anything in the arts, guys. Like everything within this scope of the arts, music, writing, acting, painting, drawing, all of that, design, it's got to come from you. You have to love it and really want to do it. If you can do that, trust me, I am in 2 different arts fields and I do it for a living. 2 different ones. If you can do that, you can make a living doing it. If you can push yourself and understand yourself enough to know how you work best and most efficiently, it might require you to try some new things, but if you can do that, you can make a living at it in the West today, 2023. You can do it. So if you have a passion and you have a day job and you hate your day job, why are you not pursuing your passion more? Okay? Understand what is holding you back. This is a big one. You got to understand what is holding you back. Is it fear? Is it the life that you have chosen to live? Is it the way you've chosen to set up your life that is holding you back? Because make no mistake, we're talking about the Western world here. The way that you live your life right now is a choice. I'll say that again. The way that you live your life right now in the Western world is a choice. In a developed country, US, UK, Ireland, Scotland, the Netherlands, France, any place that is developed, this is a choice. You don't have to live like this. So, has the way that you have set up your life hindered you from reaching your goals and your passion? Really think about that. Has the way that you have chosen to set up your life hindered you from reaching your goals and your passion? And if it has, why do you keep living this life? Or why do you keep wanting to pursue your passion? One of the two. If the way that you're living your life is stopping you from pursuing your passion, from pursuing a career in your passion, you have to ask yourself why you are allowing that to happen. Okay? Are you disorganized? Do you have so many things, so much cluttered up in your schedule? Do you have so much crap going on here that you're unable to really get down and pursue your passion? Is it disorganization? It's an easy fix, you guys. You can get reorganized. It's an easy fix. Okay? And then do you really want to do this? Because so many people say, oh, if I could, I would. But they do absolutely nothing to be able to do that. Absolutely nothing. To be able to pursue their passion and their goals They're not there. Do you actually really want to do this? And when I say, do you really want to do this? Are you willing to adjust your life and your lifestyle in a way that will permit you to pursue your passion? I understand that a lot of people do not like to do this, to look in the mirror and do this self-work. Totally got it. But if you want to pursue your passion as a career, or even as a side gig, really, if you want to start making money from your passion, you've got to put in the work. Nobody's going to do it for you. Are you willing to make those lifestyle changes? Are you willing to flip the switch mentally and go, this is what I need to do in order to do what I want to do? Are you willing to do that? Do you actually really want to do it? Because that's what it takes. You've got to make a change. If the way that your life is set up right now isn't allowing you to write or dance or do whatever, you've got to make a change. A big one. Because what you're telling yourself is you are willing to push yourself away from who you really are. Because make no mistake, your passion is who you are. That's who you are. You're willing to push yourself away from being who you really are. For what? To be miserable and working a 9-to-5. To be miserable and keep living life the way that you've been living it. Are you happy right now? Would a career in your passion make you happy? And if the answer to that is yes, what is stopping you? And ultimately, it's not anybody else. It's coming from you. The passion comes from you. The reason comes from you as well. Okay? All right. So, once you get past that point where you're understanding what is holding you back, now you got to get your situation together. For those of you who actually really want to do this, you've got to get your situation together. So, why do you want to do this? This passion, whatever it is. For the sake of this podcast, we're talking about writing. But, for those of you who have multiple passions, for like me, I'm a musician and I'm a writer. Why do I want to do both? Get specific. I just want to get it out there. That's a one-way trip to a waste of money and a promising career. What do you want to accomplish in the first month, in the first year, in the first 6 months? What is the specific goal that you have? The specific goal, what is it? Now, I have other podcasts on my YouTube channel, on the Right Way Podcast YouTube channel. For those of you on YouTube and Facebook, the @ is scrolling across the screen. For those of you on TikTok, on YouTube, it is @Right Way Podcast. Right spelled WRITE because it's for writers. I have other episodes that statistically tell you what a successful campaign is for a book. And this is whether you publish with a publisher or whether you self-publish. So if you want details on that, go to my YouTube channel @Right Way Podcast on YouTube and check out the video on that. But for you, what are your goals for your passion? Specifically, what do you want to do? I just want to get it out there is not specific. That's just, everybody wants to get their writing out there. What is the goal? Write it down. Okay? Now, after that, write down your current obligations in your life and how much time it takes up. I guarantee you it will not take up 24 hours. Guaranteed. It will not take up 24 hours. It will likely not even take up 18 hours. Likely. Because everybody's got to sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're going to get sick and leave your body eventually. Okay, write down everything that you got to do. Your job, you got to pick up kids, you got to make dinner, you got to walk the dog, you got to do whatever. All the obligations, not the desires, just the obligations. Okay, now what I would do if I was you and trying to figure this out, I would use your phone or computer and put all of those obligations in your calendar. So like what I would do is I would mark off the time when I was first starting to get my creative schedule together. I'd mark off the time that I spend at my job. So from 9 to 5, when I had a 9 to 5, I'd block that off and go, okay, I'm not doing any creative time there. But before then, I would get up 2 hours before I had to go to work. And if the night before, well, actually, let me tell you everything we had to do. Then I had to do my workout schedule, which was another 2 hours. Then I had to pick up my kids from school, which or from their mom's house, which is another 30 minutes because we live close together. After that, it was all on me. Obviously, I had to make dinner, had to make sure they got to bed on time. I had to make sure I walked the dog. All the rest of the time, it was on me. Turned out to be like 10 hours. So not even half the time that I'm awake in a day, I spent fixing or doing things that I was obligated to do. Not even half the day. 10 hours. If I took in time cooking, took in workout, took in my day job. So I had 12 hours that either I was spent sleeping or doing something else other than what I wanted to do with my life. So, and let's just say you sleep for 8 hours, okay? So, or let's just say I slept for 8 hours. So that's 18 hours that I've spent of the 24-hour day. I still got 6 hours left. 6 hours to work on a book or to pursue music or learn how to create music or something towards getting me towards my passion. 6 hours every day. And then you got to look, okay, what am I spending my time on? Because I feel like I have no time. Facebook, watching TV, playing with the dog, taking a nap, messing around. It's there, guys. It is there. So that's what I would do. If I was you guys and you feel like you don't have the time to pursue your passion, you don't have the time to write, take your iCalendar, take your Google Calendar, take your whatever calendar, block off the times. Actually block off the times on the day that you spend obligated to something else. Your job, picking up kids, taking care of the house, whatever. And really take a look at how much time it is taking up. I guarantee you it will not take up 24 hours. For me, if I added in an 8 hours sleep day, which I don't typically sleep for that long. But if I added that in, I still had, what is that, a quarter of the day that I was awake and able to write. Maybe not willing, but able. It's there, you guys. So write it down. Use your calendar. Take a look at those empty spaces after you block it off. Take a look at those empty spaces and really ask yourself, can I do something here to get me towards my passion? To get me towards actually making money in my passion? Can I do something here with that? Look at those spaces. If the answer is no, then there's two things working here. Either you need to dial something back somewhere else on your calendar, or you might want to consider if your life, like the way that your life is set up right now, is getting you closer or farther away from your goal, from pursuing something in your passion. Again, self-work, accountability. That's the name of the game today. Okay? Actually block it off in your calendar and take a look. Be objective. Don't add in subjective stuff and feelings and emotions and, oh, after my job, I'm just so tired and all. Nope. Accountability. Do you want to do this or not? Accountability. Really take a look at it. Okay? Are you willing to do what it takes to get closer to your goal? And if the answer is no, find a different hobby. Stop telling people that you want to be an actor if you really don't after doing this. Stop telling people that you want to be a writer and an author and have your books made into movies and video games and mangas and all this stuff, because you really don't. After you do this exercise, you should see just how much extra time you have. And if you've got a Facebook account, if you've got a TikTok account, if you're on YouTube, if you've got Instagram, you're taking the time to put into that stuff. Why don't you take the time to put into your passion? Accountability. I know it sucks turning the mirror on yourself and looking yourself in the mirror and going, you're the reason why your passion isn't being pursued. But that's what you have to do if you're going to make it. All right? Now, once you do all of that, and let's say you just can't seem to figure out how to carve out some time, ask for help. Ask for help. Does not make you less of a person. We all need help at some point in everything else in life. If you've got kids, you needed help getting those kids. If you bought a house, you needed help to have somebody build that house for you in order for you to be able to buy it. We all are depending on somebody else at some point in life. If you don't believe me, when you were born, you were not left on the side of the road to fend for yourself. You depended on somebody. You're alive today. You depended on your mom and dad. Whether it's your bio mom and dad, doesn't matter. You're depending on somebody. So if you've depended on somebody all of your life, why now are you trying to do it by yourself? You're making a fool of yourself. It's okay to ask for help. Sometimes an outside source is what's needed in order to get you to organize. If you need help from me, message me on any platform that you're seeing this. Message this profile, and I will personally help you. I've helped over 158 authors write, publish, and promote their works. Over 158. If I can do it for them, I can do it for you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask for help, please, when you need help. Okay? Now, I want to address the writer's block here. Writer's block comes from two things, okay? Number one, it's invalidation. Number two, it's overwork. Now, if you're overworked and you sit down at the computer and you're just you got the glassy eyes and you're just staring at the screen and nothing is coming to you, get up, set a timer for 15 minutes on your watch, on your phone, put it in your pocket, set it for 15 minutes, go take a walk. Get away from the computer screen. That's a fantastic way to get rid of the overwork when it comes to writer's block. Go walk around your neighborhood if it's safe. If it's not safe, go to an indoor mall. Walk around the mall for 15 minutes. Look around. Look at the people. You don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to be shy about it. Just look around. Look at your environment. Look at the people for 15 minutes. And then go home, sit down at the computer, and go at it again. That's the number one remedy for writer's block. Number two, if you have somebody in your life, if you take nothing away from this podcast but this point right here, this is a successful episode. If you have someone in your life who does not support your writing or your art, get them out of the process. Take them off of the line. Cut it now. They will eventually stop you from writing. Okay? I've been doing this since 2014 now. I didn't start mentoring until 2017. But I've been in this industry for so long, and the statistics do not lie. 0% of the authors I've spoken with who have a desire to write ever publish if they have a person who is invalidating them on the line. Most of the time, it's a spouse. The only ones who have had to divorce that person or cut them out of the process, and the book never turns out like it could have. Ever. They quit for a time, and then they say something like, I just want to get it out there, and they throw it out there, and it's not great. I will say this again, because this is so important for you to understand. If you have somebody on your lines, you're living with them, you're in contact with them, they're a best friend, a mom, a spouse, a sister, an uncle, a cousin, a whatever, that you respect, and they don't support your writing. I'm not saying they have to sit next to you while you write, but if they're actively saying you need to find another job, writers don't make any money, who wants to be an author? I tried that before and I found that there's no money in it. Writing is a $26 billion industry just on book sales alone. This does not include things like ghostwriting for other writers, like movie deals, like anything else, just book sales. $26 billion in 2022 was made just on book sales. Billion with a B. I don't know what else you need to say that there's money in the industry. I really, really don't. You want more proof? Look at the new Avatar, gross sales. Had to start with writing. A screenwriter wrote it. Look at their sales. If you think there's no money in it, they invested $1 billion just in marketing. $1 billion. Why would you do that if you don't think you can get the money back? You know what I could do with $1 billion? There's money in it. Okay? So if you got somebody giving you that BS, that there's no money in it, that you need to find a real job, that they tried it and failed, they had a friend who tried it and failed, they don't think you're going to get anywhere, get them off the line. Don't talk to them about your writing. For all they know, you quit. For real. For all they know, you're done with it. Because 0% of authors that I have spoken with, 0%, when they had somebody like that on the line, ever finished a book. Ever. The only ones that finished had to divorce that person or cut them out, and their book was never reached its potential. Get those people off of your line. Get those invalidators off of your line. So critical for you to understand that. All right? We kept it under an hour today. I'm kind of proud of myself. Normally, we'll hit a rant and we'll kind of go beyond the hour. But I hope that this podcast has helped you guys with organizing and understanding yourself and some of the things that you can do to really determine if you are willing to pursue your passion in writing, and help you with understanding what to do to actually bring that to fruition. Okay. My name is Jonathan Miller. This is the Right Way Podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.